The common narrative that I hear in these spaces is that marriage benefits men the most because men tend to have better health, they live longer, so on and so forth, right? So that is one of the narratives that women like to use to say, hey, man, if you're not married or you against marriage, then you're not going to be as healthy and you're not going to live as long because married men tend to outlive y'all. Now, let's read some of these facts and statistics for a second real quick. So this is from one reputable source, and I'm going to let you guys know where I got this from as well. So this is actually from Journal Storage. They actually put together all of the different research papers and articles. So I got this from Journal Storage. So basically what this says, married men and mortality. A major survey of 127,000 American adults found that married men are healthier than men who were never married or whose marriages ended in divorce or widowed. Men who have marital partners also live longer than men without spouses. Men who marry after the age 25 get more protection than those who tie the knot at a younger age. Let me go up. And also says, and the longer a man stays married, the greater his survival advantage over his unmarried peers. But is marriage itself responsible for better health and longer life? Let's continue. Abstract. In this paper, I use the fundamental cause perspective and intersectionality theory to conceptualize the relationship between marriage and health. Using the 2003 National Health Interview Survey, I found that among white Americans, the married are less depressed than the non-married. But this association diminishes as household income increases. Among black men and affluent black women, the married are more depressed with the non-married people, right? Marriage is associated with better physical health among low-income white Americans, but not among black Americans. The results call into question the generalizability of the marriage health relationship and underscore how the intersecting systems of socioeconomic status, gender, and race influence the relationship between experience and health. Now, you guys just heard what I said. This is from 2003. However, the studies show that marriage did not benefit black men and black women. Since they're using it against black men, we'll just say it does not benefit black men like it does for white men. And there's multiple reasons for that. And I'm going to go to it here in a second. But 2003, because on my page, I'm always getting fact checked. That's an old source. I did this for a reason because I wanted you guys to see the window. 2003 to 2019. I tell you, they don't like me, man. I'm the asshole. So this study is from PubMed, which is peer reviewed, of course, and it is from 2019. So we started off, they were researching this in 2013. Now we're at 2019. It is year 2024. That is within our window, right, of 5 years. So we good to go, right? So this is a pretty reputable source, right? Being married increases life expectancy of white, but not black Americans. Aims to investigate whether or not minorities' diminished returns also holds for the effects of marital status on life expectancy of adults. This study used long-term follow-up data of a national sample of American adults to explore the black/white differences for the effect of marital status at baseline on the risk of all-cause mortality over time. In line with other studies that have documented blacks' diminished returns, and those studies have documented poor health of high socioeconomic position blacks. We expected smaller effect of being married on delaying mortality for blacks than whites, right? Now, let's continue. The results. In the overall sample, individuals who were married at baseline had a lower risk of mortality during the 25 years of follow-up. They did a research study for 25 years. Race altered the effect of marital status on life expectancy, indicating smaller protective effects for blacks relative to whites. Race-specific Cox regression models show an association between marital status and life expectancy for white but not black Americans. Let's go to the conclusion. In line with the MDR's theory, the health gain that follows marital status and diminished for black Americans compared to white Americans. Only equalizing socioeconomic position across racial groups may not be adequate for eliminating racial/ethnic health inequalities. Policies should go beyond socioeconomic position and reduce societal and structural barriers that disproportionately hinder blacks from translating their socioeconomic position indicators to desirable health outcomes. So that's basically what they're asking in regards to solutions so we can improve our socioeconomic position. And we're not done. I want to show you guys some more information as well. And before we get into the website, let me just say this. I didn't put this information out there to scare black men from getting married. Absolutely not. But what I don't like is people shaming, in particular women, black women, shaming black men for not being married or not wanting to get married. So that is one of the main reasons why I put this information out there, because women are trying to use this as a way to combat men who is saying that, hey, I just don't want to get married. Again, this platform is not to encourage you or discourage you from doing what the hell you want to do. But I don't like to see people shaming black men for no particular reason, especially when you're wrong and you did not read the statistics. Every woman that I've seen quote this stat, they never give the place where they got it from. They never talked about why, socioeconomic position. None of these things came up. But all they knew is that you guys need to get married because you live longer. You have better health. It does not apply in the black community. And there are reasons for that. And we're going to go over a couple of them in a minute. So the reason, and I'm going to clip this up, and you guys can share it. You can do the research for your own. You can read all of the reports that I read before I decided to bring this to you guys, because it's not just the fact that black men and women are at odds. Has nothing to do with that. It's multiple things that correlate as to why black people don't benefit from marriage like white folks do. And again, it goes to socioeconomic position because of where we are as a community. So let's go ahead and pull up the website real quick. So I'll start at the top here. There's been a tendency to blame blacks' poor health to their behaviors such as family type. This study questions such attitude by documenting that family type is not the reason why SEP is less protective for black Americans than whites. Marital status itself generates smaller health effects for whites than blacks. This is illuminating and suggests that lower marriage rate is not a source of disparities for blacks. We argue that family type is not the cause, but a consequence of racial inequalities in the U.S. That's fair. Societal rather than biological mechanisms should be investigated to explain why SEP better promote health of whites than blacks. Society treats blacks worse than whites across socioeconomic position levels. We know this. The United States is not far removed from racism. It's still here. So the protective effects of the same SEP indicator will be smaller for blacks than whites. We are not protected by socioeconomic position like white folks. Due to residential segregation, labor market discrimination, low quality of education, and other aspects of racism, black families have difficulty competing with their white American counterparts who more easily secure low stress, high paying, prestigious jobs. All these societal processes may have a role and need more research. So may and need more research. That's fair. Due to racism and discrimination, as well as unfair treatment by the society, upward social mobility is more costly blacks in comparison to whites. As a result, high socioeconomic position blacks turn to high effort coping to deal with stress. John Henryism, an effortful coping which induces several health hazards, is common among high socioeconomic position blacks. High socioeconomic position blacks also report high levels of goal-striving stress. We hear this, I'm going to explain, hold on, which is linked to health problems. At an individual level, these phenomena increase psychological costs of upward social mobility for Black Americans. However, these are probably adjustments to cope with unfair treatment by society. So basically what they're saying is, guys, Black people have to work harder. And when we work harder to get these high socioeconomic positions, that causes a lot of stress. That translates into our marriages. So in order to have a successful financial marriage, we have to endure more stress. Does that make sense? So it's not as cut and dry as just saying that Black folks don't get along. No, we have a harder time in the United States because of our skin color and all the racial issues that we had to get to these positions. It is not new for me to say that Black people have to work 2 times as harder to get the same as a lower, let's say a lower qualified white man or a white woman. You guys know this. This is not new. So I just wanted to be clear. So before we have our Black women go out there and try and shame Black men for not being married, and also some Black men who say, yeah, you're more healthy if you get married as a Black man. It's not true, because we have our own issues to deal with, and we're going to discuss them today. So once again, guys, if you want to get married, please make sure you do your proper vetting and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And once again, everything will be in the description. I will put all references and links in the description, and you guys can read these articles for yourself. But to any Black woman that's trying to shame Black men for not being married, y'all need to stop right now, because marriage does not benefit Black men like it does white men. Okay? All right.